My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Figma Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Samus Aran. And so here we have Samus posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through Samus's accessories first. Samus does come with 4 different left hands. We do get a fist, we get an open style pose hand, we get a relaxed hand, and then we get a thumbs up hand. Samus also comes with 2 cannon tips. We do get her standard cannon tip, which looks really good. And then we do have a cannon tip that is shooting a super missile, which looks really good. She also does come with the morph ball, which looks really nice. I do like that little accessory. And other than that, we don't get anything else with Samus. I would have liked to see some energy effects like we got on the original Figma Samus, but the way this figure came out, I think I can overlook it just a little bit. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Samus. So here we have a closer look at Samus, and Figma has done an amazing job with this figure. Good Smile Company knocked it out of the park with this particular version of Samus. Now this was their second attempt at making a armored Samus figure. We did get one several years ago, which it was based off Other M, I believe, which wasn't a bad figure. It just didn't have that Samus-esque quality to it. The oranges were really bright and the red just didn't quite look good. This is an almost faithful replication of what Samus looks like in Metroid Prime, and it is very good. I really do love the metallic green that they have on the visor here, which looks really awesome. I love the way they did that. The way these tubes connect into her helmet are also really done nicely, and the detailing just on the back of it, that is spectacular. I love that detail. Looks really good. Now one problem I have noticed with Samus is that it is a little bit hard getting her head to be perfectly aligned just because of the way it is designed. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's a ball peg going back into the helmet, and moving the ball joint is a little bit tricky without moving the entire head unit, which is a little bit of a hassle, but not at all a deal breaker by any means. It looks really good. The undersuit here also has some really good detail. You can see how it looks like an undersuit right here. You can see all that nice detail even going out into the arms. One thing I do like is that you can see the undersuit peeking out through the armor plates, so that's a really awesome detail that Good Smile Company was able to actually get. Really do like these green lights that are in between her armor. They match the metallic green that she has on her visor. Then we have that same metallic green right here on her chest, and I like the shade of red that they went with. It's not too bright, but it's not too dull. It's just the perfect saturation just to show how she looked in the Metroid Prime games. So really do like that, and the detailing on her armor is splendid. I absolutely love it. Going on to the back, we do have some thrusters right here, which look really good. Now you can't actually attach anything into those thrusters, unfortunately. They don't pop out or attach something new. That's a bit of a missed opportunity, but you never really see those. I think a grapple hook would have also been a nice little accessory to have in Samus. Just have the grapple hook right here. And in the Metroid Prime games, her grapple hook sometimes was on this arm, sometimes it would come out of the cannon. Now speaking of the cannon, let's actually go over the detailing of the cannon, because it's a really awesome cannon design. Just really liking this green motif that they went with, and I do like the fact that the inside of the blaster is painted. Now as you can see, it does have a port for a blast effect, and yes, the original Samus's blast effects do work with this figure as well. Unfortunately, I don't have that Samus figure to show that off, so which I am disappointed in myself, but I really do like this version of Samus. So yeah, really liking that. The armor plating looks really good, and it does move in parts to help with articulation, so I do like that. So if you want to have her crunch, you can move the armor bits out of the way just to give her a little bit more crunch, and it helps with the gapping, which isn't really a problem here on Samus, but it does help. And one thing I really absolutely love about this figure is all these little orbs they're translucent pieces from the one that is on her hand to the one right here on her thighs going down. They're translucent bits with metallic green underneath it, and it just creates this really lovely effect, as you can see, almost as if it's powering up, so that looks really awesome. Really nice little detail that they didn't have to do, but it makes the figure that much better. It feels like a premium figure, to be quite honest, and I just absolutely love the shades of the coppers and the golds. It looks really nice. Under some lighting it looks like it's the same shade, but trust me, you can actually see a difference in the color scheme. So really liking the way Samus came out here. They did a fantastic job with that. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Samus compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And here we have Samus posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Samus posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure in a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Samus posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And so here we have Samus posed next to an SH Figuarts Mario and a Figma Twilight Princess Link. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Samus's articulation. Now I am going to pop her head off just so we can see how this head works. As you can see on the inside, we do have a ball joint right here, which does allow for side-to-side movement. It is very stiff on mine, and getting it to move is kind of a little bit of a hassle, but it can move as you need it to. And one thing I do like is that they did include this neck piece, which does go over the joint like that. And when you put the head back on, you just want to make sure you align everything up, and it goes on like so. Now I do have the head a little bit high right now, so it does look a little bit weird, but if your ball joint was a little bit looser, it wouldn't look that way. So just keep that in mind when posing the figure. It does allow for some side-to-side movement as well as really nice head rotation, so we get a lot of good range right here in the head. In Samus's shoulder, it is a ball joint connecting into the torso, so it does go back and forward. Not as much as you would think, but it's better than what you would expect, and it does pivot up and down. One thing I do like is the way they set this up. The shoulder pad is on a complete ball joint on its own, so you can see inside right there. It's a really nice ball joint, and I really love the way they engineered her arms. It's kind of like a reverse ball joint, the way they do the Figma hips, where the ball joint actually goes out to the side, which does allow Samus to pull her arm out all the way out. Now she can do a full 360, you just have to watch all the armor bits and make sure they don't get caught on each other. As you can see, they get caught really easy, so you just gotta be aware of how you have the armor posed when you bring her arm around. You can see it does come to the front quite a bit, so I do like that. We do have bicep swivel up high hidden underneath that joint, which does work. We have an elbow joint, which only gives us about 90 degrees. On the arm with the cannon, it is absolutely 90 degrees, which I do like the fact that the cannon only goes to 90, while the arm without the cannon does go a little bit past. You can rotate on that joint, but it's kind of snug in there, so I really wouldn't recommend it. Her wrists are on ball hinges, so they do pivot forward and back, up and down, as well as rotate, and they rotate on that pin. Samus does have a ball joint in the torso, which does allow her to crunch forward, crunch back, side to side, no problem. Waist, not really a waist swivel, but it is a mid-torso swivel, so I do like that. Nothing in the waist, as you can see, just by the way it is sculpted, but her legs do kick forward. All the way, Samus can do those really awesome high kicks that you can see her do in Smash Brothers, and back kicks, which also look really good. It is on a ball joint right here, and I do like the fact that the armor does hinge out to help with the movement, but it's not really too great going out even with that. It's very poor, to be quite honest, and there are better figures that have more range than that, unfortunately, but she does have a really nice thigh swivel, I will give it that. We do have your standard Figma joint in the knee, which goes all the way back. It is a little bit ugly. If they had just covered that up just a little bit, it wouldn't look as bad, but it's something that you're never going to notice unless you're really looking for it, so I guess I'm okay with it. We do have another ball hinge here at the foot, which does go back and forward, It does rotate slightly, but again, it fits snug into this joint, so you really don't get too much rotation. Now, she doesn't have a ankle rocker, but her ankle does pivot on its own, so I do appreciate that small detail. And then she does have a toe hinge. So overall, Samus here has quite a bit of articulation. Some of it is hindered, as you would expect, but overall it works for the character, and I'm not at all disappointed with that. So with all that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Samus posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Figma Metroid Prime 3 Corruption Samus posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do love the way this figure came out. I just feel like this figure needed one thing to really push it over the top, and that is cannon effects. If this figure had come with cannon effects, I would love this figure more than I already do. This figure is a badass figure, and I absolutely love the way Good Smile Company was able to incorporate some of the detailing in this suit the way they did. I think those translucent orbs with the metallic green under them was a fantastic choice, and it makes this figure pop even more than it already does. The detailing on the Samus is amazing, and I feel like the paint on her is perfect, especially if you want to make a Smash display or have her in her own Metroid Prime Corruption display. That is a really good color scheme for Samus. They did a really fantastic job getting the colors right. Even though this isn't the first Samus they did, I feel like every time they reissue another character or remake it, they do it better the second time, and this is one version that they did it better the second time. Now, this is actually a re-release of the original Metroid Prime 3 Corruption figure, which stupidly I did pass on it. I said to myself, I'll get it eventually, but then when I was ready to pull the trigger, lo and behold, it sold out everywhere, and I was really disappointed because this figure did go on upwards of $280, which is absurd for a figure. Now, thankfully, I was able to get it off Big Bad Toy Store for about $90, which was a really good price. Originally, she was priced on Good Smile's website for about $75, which I think I would have much rather paid that $75 than the $90. However, having her in hand, I think she is worth the $90. She is a little bit light on accessories, I will admit that, but as far as detailing and engineering goes, this is one of the better figures that any company has done, and I challenge another company to make Samus as good as this. I don't think they'll be able to. I know Jakks Pacific tried and failed miserably, and we haven't gotten any other Metroid figures recently, so I really want to see more Metroid costumes, especially that new suit that she has in Metroid Dread. I really hope Good Smile Company does tackle that at some point down the road. But as far as this figure goes, I really do recommend Samus for any Nintendo fan. If you're a fan of Metroid or have a Smash Brothers collection, you're gonna need Samus in that set. So with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Figma and import style videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.